Hello, everyone, and welcome to this episode of 22 Minutes with Jason and Stefan. I am Jason Bates, and I'm going to bring you the lender side of things for this episode, and he is Stefan Cotton. He's going to bring us the realtor side of things for the show.
Hello.
I don't have a call-out sign there, but
Right.
the Hulk Hogan thing, is that what you're doing there?
Yeah.
We hope to not only entertain you, but also bring you not only, but the valuable content you can actually use when you're looking to buy, sell, refinance, or invest in property. Stefan was kind of talking about investing in property just in the pre-show there.
Yeah.
Right? So,
Pre-show minute.
If you're new to the show, we do this at 8:30 a.m. Monday through Friday, Arizona time, so be sure to mark your calendars. Put a reminder on your phone. Better yet, go over to our Facebook page and like it, and you'll get your reminder from Facebook that we're going live.
Free.
Yeah.
Get it for free that way.
Free. Easy. It's done. Automated. Automation. Automation
Yes.
Nation. So, and also share with your friends and family. That would be super cool. Give us that thumbs up and that like on either Facebook or on YouTube for the replay. We'd appreciate that support as well. Today's episode, Throwback Thursday. This is Thursday, October 26th, 2017. We're going to talk about some real estate stuff. That's what this show's all about, right?
What?
In case you didn't know, breaking news.
Yeah. I'm not prepared for this.
Come again.
Yeah, come again. This show is about real estate, so we're going to talk about the BINSR Report. Stefan's going to enlighten us about the BINSR Report. Yeah.
Happens almost on every transaction.
It's like excitement or knowledge?
Oh, I said it happens almost every transaction. That's what I said.
What?
The BINSR.
Oh, yeah. Okay. I thought you were talking about your knowledge.
Oh, yeah. Well, it speaks for itself.
All right. Hey, we always do a tweet quote of the day, so let's get to today's tweet quote of the day. Well, here you go. I thought this was a good one here for the show. This is kind of maybe our, I don't know, I want to say our mission statement maybe. Try not to become a man of success, but rather try to become a man of value. Well, the spin that I put on this is, hey, we're not trying to do this show to be super successful or anything like that. We're trying to do it to bring value. We saw that there is a lot of misinformation out there. Right? And not too often that you get a lender and a realtor in the same room at the same time. So we're trying to bring value. When I say in the opening, in the opening there, right? We try to bring the value that you can use when you're looking to buy, sell, or refinance property. So I thought that was kind of appropriate for the show. Yeah. Yeah. Not too deep, right? Not too deep.
It's good. That's a good one. No, it's just the right amount of deep. Yeah. It's like a play pool deep. You know, enough where you have to kind of stand up like this while you're waiting.
And you try to do like the volleyball, and it's too much water. You need the water like up to your chest or to your waist.
Right.
Kind of thing.
Yep, you got it. You're on
it. All right. Hey, let's get to the Throwback Thursday. What do you say?
Ready. Questions?
Whoop.
Oh,
we're flipping through that too quick, aren't we?
Yeah.
All right. Sorry.
It's all right. Oh.
Yep, there we go.
Every time it does it, I'm going to make that sound.
Oh, there we go. There it is.
Questions. Who's got questions?
Who's got questions, right? Questions.
Well, we got about 12 hands raised. We're going to try to get to all of them.
We'll try to get to all of them here. Okay, so as I mentioned in the beginning of the show there, the BINSR Report. So walk us through this time frame here. When you write a contract, when a buyer writes a contract, there's, at least here in Arizona, can't speak for other states, but at least here in Arizona, there's an inspection period, right? So walk us through, first of all, what is a BINSR report? What does it stand for? What is it?
Okay. So here's what I usually tell my buyers when we first meet, and then I tell them after we like a house, and then I tell them at the inspection. So I tell them 3 times.
Okay.
So this will be your time number 1. BINSR. 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 The first 3 letters are us, right? BIN is buyer's inspection notice. The last 2 are the other side, seller's response. So buyer's inspection notice, seller's response.
Yes.
So we bought it, we've inspected it, we've noticed the window's broken, the door doesn't shut, the AC isn't blowing warm enough. Please fix these items. And then you writing this down? What am I holding on to?
Yeah, you're good, man. Go.
Oh, okay. So we've noticed everything. Did you like my pause? Like,
and then I thought my computer froze.
I know, that's good. I'm good at that. The SR is, yes, we'll fix it. No, we won't. Or here's some money. But we'll go into that detail. But the BINSR is something that you fill out within the first 10 days of getting contract acceptance. It's actually due by the 10th day. So if you get it done on the 3rd day, 5th day, and you've noticed a bunch of things wrong, you give the seller an opportunity to fix them. We find out within 5 days, they have a 5-day response time, if they're going to do that. And then we keep the transaction going. If you were to back out because of that inspection report, or even during the 10 days for any reason, your earnest money's safe. And after that too, if you were to say, hey, we want to fix like 20 items, and the buyer says, no, we won't, after that 5 days, you still can back out. It gives the buyer a lot of power to do research. We like to do the inspection right away, just in case there's more inspections we need to do because of it, maybe a roof inspection or something.
So when you write a contract, you typically have what? 10-day inspection, 15-day?
Yep.
What? 10-day. Okay.
10-day.
So 10-day inspection, this allows you the opportunity as a buyer to go in and have your home inspection done. And then based on that home inspection report, you can request those items to be fixed by the seller. Right?
Correct.
Okay. So, and then they have 5 days in which to fix them or to respond to your request.
To respond.
To respond. Okay. So
they have
really
they have until like 5 days prior to close of escrow to have everything done, so we can do our final walkthrough.
Okay. Okay. So, and this is something that I typically, as a lender, don't see, unless it's on the contract, right? Unless I
and you don't, as a lender, you don't want to see it, right? Because you don't want to know that there's a broken window or that the AC isn't proper.
Yeah. Here's the corporate answer to that. Yes, we want to see it, right? But in the interest of customer service and keeping a transaction as smooth as possible and keeping the stress level down as low as possible, no, we don't want to see it.
Right. So you're gonna need a copy of the invoice from the. Let's say the AC didn't blow. It's a 17-degree differential.
Yeah.
Let's say it blew 15 degrees. So we ask the seller to fix the AC or get it serviced by a licensed professional and send us the invoice. That's what we ask for. We get it.
Yeah.
Because usually they want, it's like $65 or $80 to get this thing serviced. But if you saw it, then your underwriter sees it. Then your underwriter is going to say, okay, first off, who did the final inspection? Let's get the documents. Let's get a re-inspection out there.
Yeah.
And tell me more about the AC guy. How long has he been licensed? Let me see all of his taxes. Right? No,
what's his insurance cover? Yeah.
Yeah. Right.
It's one of those things where be careful what you ask for, kind of thing. You want to have full disclosures as much as possible. Oddly enough, AC is not required on a home, especially on FHA. You're not required to have AC in a home, believe it or not. It's a luxury item, even though in Arizona it's like a necessity, really, almost. But yes, you're right. I mean, we want to see the roofs are a big part of this, right? Roof inspections, and here in the valley, and I'm sure other parts of the country, especially maybe Tornado Alley, that sort of thing. Shingles get ripped off, whatever. A lot of people will do it themselves, or they'll hire an unlicensed roofer to do it. That can cause some problems for a lender.
Yeah.
Everything's got to be licensed, and it just poses some safety issues. Right? You don't want the roof to fall in.
Because I do the fix and flips and I coach people on the fix and flips, I do have crews. I have a roofer guy that's licensed and sure that'll get out there probably the next day to check it out. And he doesn't mind getting paid until close of escrow. So if you're a seller, you need to fix the roof. Hey, we're going to close in 15 days. Okay, I'll get paid in 15 days.
Yeah.
Just fix the roof.
Yeah, that's the other thing too. Like, especially with roofers, I've had situations where roofers the work was done. BINSR came up that there's not proper flashing or proper drainage, whatever the issue may be, and then they put it on the contract on an addendum to have the seller fix the roof, which then I need the addendum as a lender. Then I need a licensed roofer to go out there and give a 2-year warranty on that.
Yep.
And some roofers don't want to do that, right? They don't want to say, hey, I didn't do the work, so I'm not giving a warranty on somebody else's work. That puts me at risk and exposes me for liability. So it can be a little tricky, so be sure to kind of iron those things out. Don't give them to your lender if you don't have to.
Right.
You don't have to.
That's why you don't know a lot about these BINSR items, because it's something we do on our side.
Yeah.
The other thing is when I always talk to probably 90% of the time, if there's a first-time home buyer, definitely, but most of the time, just to remind other people, there's 3 parts. There's 3 sides to a transaction, not buyer, seller, and whatever, but there's the realtor side, finding the houses, working with the realtor to get the property negotiated, which also the realtor does the inspections and then the final walkthroughs, and then hopefully they're at the closing. So they do that stuff. But once you get that negotiated contract and then you get past the inspection, then it goes title and the lender. So those are the other 2 sides. So once we do all the BINSR stuff, that's usually when the lender really starts kicking into gear. Okay, we have a deal, it's still going live. So this whole BINSR stuff is negotiated before we're really ordering the appraisal, which is one of the pieces that you do on your side. Right.
Yeah, that's one of the things that I communicate with Stefan on is, hey, are we good to order the appraisal? And that typically tells me that the inspection came back clean, or came back to a satisfactory level for both parties.
Yep.
And because I don't want to have a buyer or your buyer spend money on an appraisal if you can't fix the items or can't come to a.
And that's something like Chase or Wells or something. I've noticed they try to get the clients to pay for that appraisal right away. Mm-hmm. You got in a contract, let's get that appraisal. Give me your debit card. And I always say, no.
Yeah.
We got to wait to see if we want the house.
You know why that is?
Why they want it right away? Because they take so long?
No.
Because they like money.
We were trained. I used to work at Bank One, but loan officers are trained to get the commitment from the buyer. And one of the ways to get the commitment from the buyer is to have them invest in the deal. And one of the ways to do that is to pay for an appraisal. They feel kind of obligated at that point then to move forward with that particular lender. It's kind of a I don't know if it's a trick or whatever, but
it's like a hook.
Yeah, like maybe a hook or something like that.
Yeah.
For me, my reputation's the last thing I have at the end of the day. So I try to, keep my reputation intact. And one of the ways to do that is not have people spend money unnecessarily.
Right. Save. It's weird that people don't realize the money that we actually do save them at the end of the transaction. They don't think about, oh, Stefan saved me $500 or $450 or.
Yeah.
Don't so know we just do it. Know. We just do it as a value service, really.
Mm-hmm. Experience. It's experience. I mean, a lot of times at Chase or Bank of America, not saying anything's wrong with that, but they just don't have a lot of experience. Those gentlemen, and they don't care. I mean, they're not spending their money on the appraisal. Right. But we care. We're in the community. We're lending. We're part of the community, and we're not hiding behind some big shield. It's my name, my license on the line. So, I definitely want to take care of my clients, your clients.
So that's what a BINSR is. I think we have some paperwork.
Yeah, let me show here the first page here, and we'll kind of zoom in on it here. This is what the BINSR report actually looks like.
Yes.
Sorry, it's a little blurry, everyone, but
I did fill it out for some use here, so we can kind of look at it. So the contract date is October 18th. So we have 10 days in this inspection period. So that means by October 28th, we have to have this thing filled out and sent back to the seller. Just to give you an example, the seller's name is Jason Bates, the buyer's name is Stefan Cotton, and the property is 22 Mins AZ, Phoenix, Arizona 90210.
There you go.
I didn't know this.
Beverly Hills in Arizona.
Right. Oh, you noticed? I thought I was being tricky. I wasn't trying to be tricky. It's a little blurry, but it says that the buyer has completed all desired inspections. So that means once we deliver this, our inspections are done. We did everything that we felt we needed to do. Buyer has verified all the information deemed important through the MLS or other materials, and then here's what you can either the first little box there, premises accepted. There's no corrections requested. Let's just move to close. We love the house. Premises rejected. Man, there's like $20,000 worth of stuff that needs to happen, so I'm out of here. That's or the one that I like to recommend if you're going to try to cancel this, at least see if they're going to fix it. So buyer elects to provide the seller an opportunity to correct the disapproved items listed below. And so my verbiage that I always say is, please refer to inspection report attached and reference herein for any clarification needed. Meaning that anytime I have them, the fire door or the window or anything like that is broken, I send in the inspection report so they can look at that and say, okay, now I can see what they're talking about, like what door is broken or what window is broken or what thing won't latch. So that's how I always start it, and then we start the list afterwards.
Got
items.
All right, and then here's page 2 of it, real quick.
Yep. Oh yeah. So sometimes if you're doing it as is, or something like if I'm doing an investing, maybe I waive the inspection period, so buyer waives inspection, so there's nothing to be filled out. Never do that. Ever do that as a buyer consumer, because the inspection costs about $350, but what it does is it might give you $1,500 worth of reduction in price, or might fix things you didn't know were broken. So it's always worth having somebody inspect it, just so you can save money or get things that you didn't know you needed to fix to get fixed.
Yeah.
So you will never sign this ever. Seller's response, or you just want to look at us for a second?
No, there you go.
So we have the 10 days. We get that in there. And then remember, it's only 5 days for the seller's response, the SR.
Yep. The
seller agrees to fix the items. Seller is unwilling to fix the items, or seller will fix whatever items. Usually this response is, I'll fix items 1, 3, 7, 5, and whatever. Or maybe the seller's response is, seller to lower sales price from $180,000 to $175,000 in lieu of repairs, something like that. And then at the very bottom, the buyer says, okay, I agree, or no, that's not acceptable, I'm out of here.
There you go. And there you have it. There's the BINSR report.
At any point, the seller can walk away during that stuff and get their earnest back. Although if the seller doesn't agree to
can walk away.
Oh yeah, the buyer can. Sorry, man. Yeah. The buyer can walk away at any time, other than if the seller agrees to fix all the items. If the seller agrees to fix all the items, then you got to keep going. But if they counter saying I'm not going to fix this item, then you can walk out, or and then your earnest is still safe and attached.
Can you, as a buyer, elect to have the seller use a repair company that you elect, or is it, like, what are the parameters there for the items that need to be fixed?
I mean, it's the same thing. A handyman usually can do $1,000 stuff, so they're not licensed. You can recommend a licensed company, but at the end of the day, the seller can, if they get a better rate from somewhere else. It doesn't have to be by ABC, AC, Repair, or whatever, right? It doesn't have to be. It just has to be somebody licensed, but you can recommend it.
So it just has to be somebody licensed then. I mean, it can't
typically
be, hey, I'm going to go to Home Depot and get some wire nuts and fix it myself.
No, you can't. Listen, you can't. If it doesn't say about, so if it's not like the electric work, you probably want a licensed professional to do it. Roof work, you want a licensed professional. AC work, you want a licensed professional. So those are typical stuff that I ask for. But to fix a latch on a window, you don't have to hire a professional. Okay. Fix the leak under the faucet. If you're capable, then get it done, because we're going to walk it. If it's still leaking, then we're out. So.
All right. Now, does this cover any type of like, I don't know, like pest or structural kind of stuff? Expansive soil. That's not too common here, but it is a problem here. So does it cover any of that kind of stuff?
It covers termites, right? Because you'll get a termite report done too. If there's termites, that's usually a funding condition, right?
Yes.
If there's termites in the house, so we can't buy the house until the seller fixes the termites. Plus, seller, you can't sell the house until you fix the termites, because we're not the only lender that's stringent. So usually we get that repaired.
I tell that to buyers all the time, Steph. You bring up a good point, because buyers will call me and say, well, is this going to kill the deal? What, and it's like, look, I mean, you got the negotiating power. I mean, the seller either fixes it with you or they fix it with somebody else. Unless somebody's paying cash for the property and is okay with termites, which is highly doubtful, then they're gonna have to fix it one way or another. So I don't even understand, like, from a listing agent's perspective, hey, you need to get these things fixed before we even list this house, kind of thing. Right.
Well, in case it's a cash offer. I mean,
but who's gonna be like?
I don't know. I always recommend a termite. I always recommend it. Sometimes they say that they're savvy enough to notice that there's termite modules, you know.
Yeah.
And so, but the thing is, if you notice the termite modules, well, then you're going to need a report that says there's termites, not just, hey, you fix this.
Right.
It's going to cost you $800. Like, they don't know, because usually the termite repair guy tells you how much.
Here's my empty can of Raid. Are we good?
Right. You know what I mean? So hire the professionals. You're spending $200,000, $300,000 on a house. What's $65 for a termite inspection? Especially if it's there and it's going to cost you $400 to fix.
Yeah.
It's not only going to cost you $400 if you choose not to get a termite inspector and then see it later.
Yeah.
But if you get the seller to do it, then why not?
Yeah. Why not? Why not? So then once it's all done, they have until 5 days before close of escrow to fix those items. If they don't, are they in breach of contract at that point?
Well, no.
Okay.
They're only ever in breach of contract. Well, it's cure notice. It's cure noticeable, yeah. Because you have to send out a cure saying, yeah, you are in breach of contract. But then it gives them 3 more days to remedy. That's why you want to do it on day 5, like 5 days before. Because that way you give them 3 days to remedy it. You can walk back 2 days before you close and make sure everything is done.
Right.
Because you don't want to, if you wait until the 3rd day, like 3 days out, you walk it and there's stuff that needs to happen. You have no real leverage because these things aren't remedied, but I got to sign my part too. They can throw you in as a cure notice too.
Yeah. So getting back to termites real quick, because there's 2 types of houses in Arizona, right? The ones who have had termites, the ones who are going to get them. VA is the only loan that actually requires a termite inspection. Otherwise, the only time the lender is going to require a termite inspection is if the appraiser notates that there is evidence of termites. So the appraisal, really, think about the appraisal is really the eyes and ears to the lender as to the condition of the property, right? And then, of course, you know, my communication with Stefan or whatever, but because I've had situations where I've had people purchase a home and there's a wall or drywall missing on a wall. Not so common today because of properties, but you know, a few years ago, drywall is missing. I'd order the appraisal, and the appraiser's like, "Hey, there's drywall missing, exposed wiring, you know, whatever the case may be." Well, then they got to go back out to the property, and that costs additional money. And I tell the agent, like, well, why didn't you tell me that stuff was going to not be fixed before we ordered this appraisal? Because now we just cost the client another $150. So communication's key.
Well, sometimes you want to leverage the appraiser in that sense too. Look, these items aren't done, and now you're going to need to get them done, or else this thing's not going to close. You know.
Right. That's true.
So,
but tell me that.
Yeah.
So we're kind of prepared. You know, communicate. Communication's key to a good, successful transaction. No question about it. All right, that covers the BINSR report. So hopefully we clarified that. You have 10 days typically. You can ask for longer. You can ask for shorter. That's negotiable, I suppose.
It is.
But you have a window there to get your inspections done. Do all your due diligence as a buyer. Make sure that property is not going to become that money pit. We don't want money pits out there. Nobody wants that. I've had that situation where they moved in, they waived their right to an inspection. The AC breaks, 45 days after they move in.
Yeah.
That's not good. That's not a good feeling at all. So be sure to utilize that 10-day inspection, get that BINSR report, and don't be afraid to ask for those items to be fixed. That's a key to having a good realtor too, right?
Right.
All right, with that, we're going to wrap up today's show. This is the Throwback Thursday episode of 22 minutes, so appreciate you sticking with us, everybody who has stuck with us throughout the episode. We do this Monday through Friday, 8:30 a.m. Tomorrow is Reflection Friday, and man, do we have some things to reflect on this week. And Feature Friday, right? You got some properties?
I got a property that's going to be hitting the market soon. Do I have photos? I have videos.
Oh, we got both.
Yeah. Oh, no, I don't have photos. I got videos.
Oh, you got videos. All right. Beautiful.
It's the Calelejos.
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 Getting in the mood for the Christmas time.
Right. Calelejos.
There it is.
Um,
There it
the
is.
I have the one from when we bought it because it was a burned down house,
Yeah.
and then I have a video of what it looks like today.
Yeah, it was right down the street from my old house
Yeah.
there.
So I have the old video. We can kind of skip around to it if you want,
Oh,
and then I have the new video which shows what it looks like now, which is very, very different.
all right, beautiful. Before and after. Should be exciting. All right, cool. Everyone have a great day. We'll see you tomorrow at 8:30 a.m. Take care, everyone. Bye-bye.